Hello everyone,
Hello.
and welcome to this week's Jurassic World Evolution live stream. I'm Steggs, part of the community team here at Frontier Developments, and joining me today for a very, very special stream is the fantastic, the amazing, the wonderous senior audio designer, Duncan Mackinnon. I said I wasn't going to get your name wrong, and I was just like...
did.
How are you doing, Duncan?
Very well, thanks.
Yeah?
Very well.
Are you excited
Nice
for
to
the
be here.
stream?
Yes, very excited. Got some fun stuff to show you.
Do you know, I've genuinely been, for the whole week, I've been really, really excited for this stream.
Yeah.
Because it's one of those ones where we get to see like a real peek behind the curtain, if you like. So, we should probably explain what we're going to do, because as you've seen, the stream is called Jurassic World Evolution Behind the Audio. And you're quite literally going to see what it's like behind the audio of Jurassic World Evolution. So our fantastic audio team are doing some super amazing work. And we're going to have a look in the editor and take you through some of the sounds. I think we've got some dinosaur sounds in there as well.
Yeah.
And basically talk about how they were made and things like that. And it's going to be really, really exciting. Really exciting. But first, before we do that, Duncan, we need to see who's in the chat. So we've got Joel, we have Carl Harris, Adrian, Stuff by Nick, Sky Spider Girl, Barath, we've got Worst, Vortex, Pixelated Sparkster, Nico, Lil Razor, Night Dragoon, Zaki, Fuzzy Cat Fur, that's brilliant, what a name, Laura Craft, Trey's Book, Ben Lewis, Cassidy, there's so many people here. Thank you all so much for coming.
Shout out to Matt F as well.
Matt Florians is here. Yep. Hey, Matt. We miss you. We miss you. No, we like having Duncan on as well, obviously. We do like having Duncan on as well. So before we sort of delve in, Duncan, I wanted to ask you a couple of things just about game audio in general, if you like, because I think there's probably quite a few people in the chat that are certainly interested in it. Yeah. Maybe there are some people that are thinking of even taking it as their like career path or anything like that. So I guess first question, if you like, is how did you get into game audio?
So I bought a guitar when I was 13.
Yes,
I
love stories like this.
Electric guitar is the perfect way to get into sound design, because it's the sound design tool itself. Like you plug it in to the amp, and you play a nice clean sound, and then you do that for about 5 minutes, and then you're like, right, I can turn on the distortion, I can add delay, you know, you can get all these cool effects, you can make a guitar sound like anything. And it's just the introductions and knob twiddling. And then when you start recording your own music, you can do so many more things to the sound of your guitar in Cubase or in you know, Reaper or whatever you're using. So that's like the next step, is just like taking these recordings and then mangling them further. And then I went to university and did a course in audio music technology in Bristol, which was an extremely bad course, and we learned basically nothing.
Oh no!
And I came out of it, and like the smartphone boom had happened, and there was just loads of these sort of small games companies who were just releasing these games onto the App Store, and lots of them needed audio. And it was maybe 2011. I just started emailing companies, and some of them said,
amazing,
make some sounds for us.
Brilliant.
So I made a sound for this game called Chuck's Challenge, which was on the iPhone, and then when they did a version of it on Steam, they brought me back, and I did all the sounds music for that and a bunch of other stuff. And that was 2 years of work, and then that helped me build my portfolio. Sort of built my show reel out a bit, and then saw the opportunity here at Frontier, and
amazing.
Jim hired me. So
great stuff. How long have you been here now?
Nearly 6 years.
Nearly 6 years.
Yeah. So started on Elite.
Brilliant.
About in October of 2013, maybe. So did like 3 years of Elite, and then
great stuff.
And
you've said you mentioned there about sort of a portfolio and things like that. Obviously, that's key to being able to get a job. What sort of advice for anybody that might be sort of working on their portfolio at the moment? What sort of advice would you give them for creating it?
Put the best stuff first. The first 30 seconds needs to be amazing. Even like the first 5 seconds. If the first 5 seconds isn't very good, that just puts you in a bad mood. I've seen quite a few of them where people do like a really flashy ident, and they have like some text that just like slams into the screen. It's like, electricity going everywhere. Like, I don't need to hear that. Like, put that stuff at the end. Start off with something that is that's telling a story, and that's exciting, that's well mixed, and it's the best you can do. And then once you've got that the audio director or the audio guy hooked in that first 30 seconds, you're sorted. They'll listen to the rest of it, even if it's a few minutes long. Just like it needs to be good at the beginning. So you see quite a lot where they're super long and the best bit will be at the end, and you're like, why didn't you put that at the beginning? So many people won't have watched that to the end. So
okay. So put your best stuff at the beginning, basically.
Definitely.
And if you want to do anything fancy with graphics and stuff, do it right at the end.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
That's it. You are going for an audio job after.
Yeah, exactly.
So
It's an audio job. Yeah. And if anyone has the games that they've worked on at university, I see them quite a lot. You have, I don't know what it is. It's like some game, and you can just put your own sounds into it and things. They always look really bad compared to say just taking a trailer of a video game and then replacing all the sounds. Just like start with something that looks really, really cool. And then have that in your portfolio. And then maybe you can put your game stuff like right at the end, just to show that you've done some implementation and things. But just pick something that looks really, really good.
Okay, that's good. Great advice. So in terms of, let's say when you're sitting down, we're jumping forward here. We're gonna pretend that. I was going to say we're going to pretend we're audio designer. You're an audio designer. Okay, I'm you.
Yep.
I've just sat at my mixing desk.
Yep.
Right, and I've been asked that I need to make a sound for, let's say, Jurassic World Evolution.
Yep. Where
do I start? What's your process?
So for dinosaurs, I would look at what type of dinosaur it was. So I'd normally start off on Wikipedia.
Yeah.
Just Wikipedia, the dinosaur, find out some stuff about it, what family it's from, when it existed, the size maybe what it ate, like if there are any interesting little behaviours. Often the fossil records for these things are quite vague, so you'll go on the Wikipedia page and they will have found like the thumb or the little finger of a dinosaur, and then they've reconstructed the entire thing from that.
Yeah.
And then you're just like, well, I've got carte blanche. I can just do whatever I like, really.
Sure.
And then there are other dinosaurs like the Pachycephalosaurus is a good one. Has this amazing crest, and that's actually a resonant chamber, and the sound will be filtered through that resonant chamber, and it just makes it really, really loud. It made it travel great distances.
Yeah.
That's the scientific theory anyway, and we take all that stuff and we just put it in the game.
Amazing.
Yeah. So if we can, then we'll follow the science.
Yeah. So there's a lot of research that goes into the sounds before. It's not just like, okay, it's a roar, we're gonna make a roar here. There's a lot of like research into lots of different factors of the dinosaur. Because I imagine, I'm going to make this completely wrong because I know nothing about audio. But if it's a larger dinosaur, I'm going to be more vague. If it's a larger dinosaur, that's clearly going to have a very different sound to a smaller dinosaur. You can kind of get an idea of what you're roughly going to go for with those scientific facts.
Definitely, yeah.
Love it.
Yeah, size is very important.
Amazing. Yeah. All right, brilliant. Well, look, let's not go any further with this. Let's get right into it, and because I know there are lots of people in the chat that are really excited to see how we do things.
Yeah.
So let's head over to this screen right here, and take us through, because I'm looking at this and I'm like, I don't know what I'm looking at, Duncan. So take us through what's happening.
So
right now.
This is Cubase 8.5. This is our digital audio workstation, to give it its full name. And we have a bunch of folders here. I should say at the beginning that this is not how I normally work. This is incredibly neat. It's very, very orderly. It's beautifully laid out. I've laid on some colours for you guys, so it's also for me, so I know what kind of audio I'm playing here, and everything's just arranged beautifully. So normally a session will be a mess. It won't have this kind of like nice linear flow that this one does. But yeah, we have a bunch of folders, and in these folders we have a bunch of tracks, and on these tracks we have some audio clips, and we're going to be playing some audio clips for you in a moment.
We should probably put some headphones on for that, shouldn't we? I'd like to point out this is the first time I've ever had to use headphones for a stream, and I'm very excited. Here we go. Oh, amazing. Yeah, very.
So, the first dinosaur we're going to look at is the Pachycephalosaurus.
Okay.
This is a universal dinosaur. So, we had a bit of a challenge with this one. Universal have been amazing. ILM and the guys at Skywalker Sound sent us loads and loads of audio from all the films, from Jurassic World, from 1 to 3. But they didn't send us this, and we were kind of waiting to see if they would, because it's in the Lost World, isn't it? It's one of the characters in the Lost World, and it didn't seem like they were going to send it to us. So I thought, right, I'm going to have to recreate this myself. I'm going to try and work out what animals they used to make the Pachycephalosaurus. So this was the sound I was trying to recreate. Oh, it's really laggy.
It is quite laggy, isn't it?
Yeah. Why does it say laggy? That's weird. It definitely wasn't laggy earlier.
Wasn't it?
Okay, let's just plow on anyway. Right, so I'm trying to recreate that sound. It's got this kind of screechy quality to it.
Yeah.
So the first thing I was thinking then was vulture. So this is a sound that I've just pulled out of our library. We've got loads of animals in it.
Okay.
Okay, so I got that. That's close.
Yeah.
It's like it's nearly there.
Yeah.
It needs something else. So I found this other sound, which is this terrifying dog.
Oh, so it's got this sort of low.
It's got that.
Yeah.
It's got that low end on it. Yeah. And then we need a way to kind of combine these two animals so that the sounds sort of mesh up together, and it's not two sounds anymore; it becomes one. So we found this plugin called Morph, which is absolutely amazing. It's quite old now. It's made by a company called Synaptic, and it basically allows you to smash two sounds together. It can be more than two actually, but this is the result of those two being together. And if you see over here, it has this control which you can kind of move around, and you can morph the sounds. You can adjust the balance of the sound, basically.
Right.
So you can adjust the balance of it, and you get something that sounds vaguely like the example.
Yes. That's amazing.
Which is awesome. So I've got another one here, which is this little honk. So that was just ripped out of the movie. And there's a key scene where he just makes this little honk. His little mouth opens, and he's just like, he's a bit angry, he's a bit upset, he's a bit sad maybe. And I thought we just need something that's gonna work with that. So these are the sources again. So we've got this vulture again, because vultures, when you're doing creature design, vultures are so useful. That nice scream. And then it just sounded like a goose. So I thought, right, let's try a goose. And then the goose has got that kind of it's got like a quite transient attack.
Yeah.
Like that. It's quite punchy.
It's so punchy.
Yeah. So there you go. There's the goose, and then we mix them together.
Yeah.
And then on this one, I can actually show you, because have I put any automation on? Yeah, I'll put some automation on this, so it's gonna do things with this. You see this little circle that's moving around. You can automate these parameters in real time. So if you want to adjust if you want, say, more goose than vulture, you just like dial in a bit more goose, take up the vulture, or So there we go. That's the Pachycephalosaurus. So that was mostly goose and what was the other one? Vulture.
Yeah.
goose and vulture
Yeah.
with a bit of dog. And then
Wow.
once you've kind of found the recipe for it, you can just combine those 3 animals together in a myriad of ways to basically make everything.
So strange that you can come up with, you know, new sounds using like a sound of a dinosaur.
Yeah.
Using like creatures alive today, sounds from
Yes.
them. That's so crazy.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I almost wondered if somebody was sort of like in a recording studio going like, "Arr," you know, and then you'd be like, okay, we're going to just adjust all of this, put some more treble on it, and you know, things like that.
We tried that. We did. There's a couple of dinosaurs where we used some aircon duct.
Oh.
We had some aircon duct when, from one of those little portable aircon units, and we just screamed down it. And that's definitely made it onto one of the dinosaurs. I think it might be the Triceratops has got that.
I bet that was so fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
Just screaming into this air.
Yeah.
What is it? Air thing.
It's just an aircon duct.
Yeah, an air duct. Yeah.
And me and Dylan, one of the other sound designers, we took apart a plastic trombone that our head of audio, Jim, brought in.
Right.
And we reassembled it in some odd way, and then blew through it into the hollow body of a guitar, and made this sound for the Parasaurolophus. And then we made one of them. There was like 5 minutes of recording, and all of it was terrible, apart from this one little moment. Jim was like, "I need more of that." So we tried to recreate it, and we couldn't.
Oh no!
So you end up with situations like that. You go down this rabbit hole of combining these weird things together. And
so how do you like when you're thinking about making sounds like that?
Yeah.
Do you have an idea of what sort of like objects you'll need to make the sound, or is it a lot of experimentation?
It's just playing. Yeah.
It's just playing.
Yeah.
This literally sounds so
just-
fun. Right? Sounds so fun. Because I see the audio people out and about doing really weird things, you know, with random props, and I'm like, what are you guys doing? And then I realise they've got this like their microphone. I'm like, oh my god, you're making a sound, like, and you're using this strange thing, you know?
Exactly. Always be recording. So the next one I've got is the Spina Raptor. Because I saw the other day there was some video and someone said they liked the sound of it. So I thought, this is how it's made.
Yes.
So we started off with the Spinosaurus hero roar for this as a base, because the Spina Raptor is related to the Spinosaurus. So we'd already done the Spinosaurus at that time, so it means we've got a lot of material that we can draw from. So this is the Spinosaurus hero. Which is pretty chunky.
Yeah,
And, I'm using this filter to give it ease. Bring out the top end a bit more.
Excellent.
So that's the first ingredient. And then the second one is this little click sound. It's like a weird little purry thing.
Yeah.
It's quite angry.
That is angry.
And then we've got a sound nicked from the Velociraptors. Oh, no, I meant to play all that. Because it is a Velociraptor as well as a Spina Raptor. So this is quite quiet. But this is one of the classic raptor sounds.
Brilliant.
And then we've got another sound for the Spina Raptor, which is this little attack scream. So this is kind of like a hybrid of a Spinosaurus and a Velociraptor. It's got that piercing quality from the Velociraptor, but it's got a bit of body from the Spinosaurus.
Amazing.
And then there was one more ingredient, and that was squeaky glass. So this gives it just a bit of menace, I think.
No way.
Yeah. Okay, so that's in there as well. And then when we play it all together, we get that.
Oh.
And there we are.
That sounds amazing.
That is the hero roar.
That's so cool. So the squeaky glass with that.
Yeah.
Is that a sound that was from the library, or did you guys squeak on some glass yourselves?
We we just got that out of the library.
Yeah, yeah.
So, the library is really, really good for some things, and stuff like Squeaky Glass is great for.
Absolutely,
it's just there, ready to go. If you need something more specific, then we just go out and record it ourselves. Amazing. Yeah, but
at this point, I'd just like to point out I can't see anyone saying that they can't hear it, but if you are struggling to hear the sounds, please do let us know, because this is obviously what the stream is all about. So if you are struggling, let us know, and we'll see about moving it up a little bit. Sound is fine, excellent, great to hear, Matt. Thank you.
Right, so the next one is the Saurus. I feel like this dinosaur is a little bit unloved. I never see anyone talking about it, but I think it's really cute.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's got that like big long nose, like a Star Wars character.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I think you're right, though.
Like
I definitely think you're right.
Yeah.
It's certainly not in the park, and I don't know why. It's just not.
Adorable. I don't know. Maybe people can tell us why they're not using it.
Maybe, yeah.
But so the base of it was the Ankylosaurus. So it's got that.
Excellent.
There we are. And then on top of that, to give it its unique character, we've got this camel. Which is a lovely little gargly camel.
Sounds like a monster.
Straight away. Just out of the box. Which is just, that's just
excellent.
So fun. And then there's this as well, which is, I think that's just a pitched down version of it. This might be a good opportunity to explain pitching down, just so with all these sounds, we can you can basically adjust the pitch of all of them. So one of the things we often do to make something sound bigger is just make it sound lower, and to make it sound lower, you just play it at half the speed. So you just go through this, pitch it down, and put it on the right track. There you go. And it's really low and it's really slow.
Ooh.
So just gives it a bit of depth. And then when you play it all in the morph, we've got kind of a blend of all of these things. We've got some of that lower from this track, and then you've got the sort of gargliness from this guy, and then there's a nice sort of noisy quality from this. And then actually, this one hasn't got any automation on, I can kind of like this around, and you can hear how that's just, so right now that's just the gargle, and then down here is just the initial sound, and then here is a perfect blend of all of them.
Okay.
And then some over here is my sweet spot, which I've now lost, but it's alright. So yeah, this is just such a cool tool. You can do loads of fun stuff on it, like you can just pick stuff up. It's really strange. Add loads of reverb. Yes.
I like it. I feel like we're getting the start of a hit song
Exactly.
right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just a really fun tool.
And so when you're in tools like that, do you sort of know roughly what you want when you're in the tool, or are you kind of like, I'll play around a little bit and see just what interesting sounds come out?
There's a lot of playing around with this. It likes noise. So if you've got a really noisy element like this top sound here, this roar, that stuff will blend really, really well with that.
Right.
I don't know why. It's something to do with the algorithm. It just loves a really noisy sound. If you have stuff that's too clean, often they don't blend well. We tried other things with like taking, say, like a squirrel, like a really high-pitched squirrel, and then mixing it with a lion to make like a squirrel lion. Who doesn't want to hear that? But because the pitches are so different, the algorithm has a really hard time meshing them together, and it doesn't sound real. You've got to just try and find the sweet spot between it sounding real and it sounding weird. And sometimes you can put in surprising things, and you can make them mesh well.
Right.
So this this next one is the Proceratosaurus. It's got this little chatter sound. So that's the source for it. It's just very cute.
Amazing.
So you wouldn't guess this is a lion.
No, it's not.
Yeah, this is a pitched up lion. So if I take this over here and then pitch it down, that's the normal pitch. So we got this new library. I think this might be from Hyperrealism, or it's a fantastic library. It's got these lions in it, and they make sounds that you would have thought a lion made.
Wow.
They're way more catty. I always think of a lion as just roaring, basically.
Yeah,
maybe doing a bit of a purr.
Yeah,
but they
I
do
can see
all of
that.
those. They have such a wide range of vocalizations. Like a cat, they just make all these little mews and things.
Oh.
So that was my base for it, because it sounds cute already. And then the second one is this, which is I think this is a kookaburra, which is, I think it's an Australian animal, but maybe some New Zealander on the stream would be like.
I think you're right. I think it's an Australian bird.
And then this again is pitched. I think this is pitched up. Yeah. So that's the normal pitch for kookaburra.
There you go. Kookaburras are Australian. There you go.
I was right.
Yeah.
Nice one. Glad to have you. So this is my pitched up kookaburra. And I've put some chorus on this as well. Chorus is a super useful effect when you're when you want to make something sound like a bit big, like a bit bigger, or have a little bit of a shimmer. Just chuck some chorus on it, and yeah, I won't go into how it works, because honestly I don't know. It's like a flanger. It's a bit like a flanger, but different somehow.
Excellent. Excellent.
It doubles it somehow. Maybe someone in the chat can tell us how chorus works.
That's so good. I'm so happy you said that.
So together.
Oh man.
So it's really cute, and it's quite expressive.
Yeah,
and,
it is.
The Proceratosauruses are they're social little guys, aren't they?
They are. Yeah.
They're small theropods, so they're deadly and vicious, but they like a chat, you know.
They do. They do.
So we wanted to express that with something that with sounds you can put them together in different orders, and it sounds like they're having a conversation with each other.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we like to sort of anthropomorphisize.
That's so cool.
In that sort of way.
Yeah, definitely.
So that's the Proceratosaurus, and so moving on, we've got the raw screech.
And this is for Proceratosaurus.
This is for
again.
Proceratosaurus again. So
Excellent.
this is from what is this? This is a Harris hawk. So this is some sort of horrible South American bird.
Wow.
Yeah, it's horrible, isn't it?
Yeah. It sounds like it's dying.
It does, doesn't it?
You know, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And it's really thin, like, and it's really piercing. And I've made it more piercing by using this.
Right.
Doing this on FabFilter. So that's kind of the base of the sound. And then to this we added a cartoon ratchet.
No way.
Yeah, so that's the other sound in there. And I used this cartoon ratchet because in the Lost World there's a little tiny small dinosaurs.
Yep.
And the sounds of them were definitely an inspiration for this.
Right.
And they have this weird like clicky noise. And I was like, what can I use that's clicky? And this ratchet just came up when I searched in the library.
Amazing.
For like small noise. So let's just play this all together. Yes. So it's got that little tick, 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 tick,
Yeah.
tick bit at the end, which I don't know. It kind of went with the animation. So
Yeah.
I just, just added it, and then there's some shorter ones, just in case. And there we are. And that's a Proceratosaurus.
I can literally see the Proceratosaurus doing those sounds as well.
Yeah.
I'm just like, this is a ratchet and a hawk. Did you say?
Yeah, hawk.
Wow.
Yeah, Harris hawk.
Crazy.
Yeah, I should probably just if anyone wants this library is amazing. I think this Harris hawk comes from I think it's the hybrid library.
Right.
By this guy called I think it's called Matthias, and it is amazing. It's the best animal library that I've heard. There's just animals in there that you would not believe.
Nice.
Right.
Fantastic work.
Something a bit more angry now.
Yes.
We've got the Suchomimus.
Very angry dinosaur.
This is another Spinosaurid. So again, it uses the Spinosaurus as its base. So it's got that. Which is fairly terrifying. And the next layer is, we're using this devil dog again. So there are animals that you just keep coming back to because they've got a quality that you really like.
Sure.
And this devil dog is one of them. It's just really nasty.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
It sounds devilish.
It sounds devilish, doesn't it?
Really does.
I don't know what's wrong with that dog. Apparently, it's just some guy's dog. His friend had this dog, and it just made these horrible noises. I think it's a staffy or something like that.
Right, right.
And it's the cutest dog. It's just lovely, but it's got some kind of something wrong with its jaw, and it just comes out with this stuff.
Oh, that's insane.
This is my favourite layer. So it's really screamy. Yeah, and I think I've done some stuff to this. So it's got this phaser on it, which which kind of gives it that like flappy quality.
Yeah, yeah.
Trying to reclaim the phaser. Yeah, this is Sound Toys. If anyone's interested in effects for DH, it's the best one. Yeah, so that's a beluga whale. I don't know what someone did to make that sound, but
Wow.
it doesn't sound very happy, does
It
it?
really doesn't.
And we've got more dog. So I don't know why there's more dog, but I guess at the time I felt like it needed more dog.
Yeah, yeah. I love that that's the thought process for it. You know what this needs? It needs more dog.
Needs more dog. Yeah, yeah. You go back and you look at these things and you think, why did I do that? Like, what was I thinking then? Yeah, it must have been.
But they sound amazing.
Yeah, it works. Yeah, and then we've got this. So this is an ice block on wood, which I used for quite a lot of the large theropods. Because again, going back to the films, you listen to the T-Rex,
Yep.
and you listen to that roar, and it's definitely there's an animal in there, but there's just like something else. There's something else in the low end.
Yeah.
That's just really rumbly.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
like almost like you know when you get like a saw blade or something and you like run it against a piece of wood and it's got that like sound.
Yeah. Yeah.
It kind of sounds like trees falling as well. And this was the closest thing we could come to. And this has got ring modulation on it, which gives it that broken quality. Again, I don't really know how a ring modulator works.
That's all right.
It's just a thing that like flaps around and you know. And we've got this. This is the greatest thing in the world, the decapitator. So it's basically it's a distortion. It can go from like light distortion, maybe make it sound like you've got playing a vinyl record or something, and it's got this punish button, which is just the greatest button in any plugin, and the punish button just ramps the. So that's it, And actually, in this case, it doesn't make that much difference, but it feels good to turn it on.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, definitely, definitely.
You know,
if you can, you might as well.
you
right?
might as well. Yeah. So, so that's all the layers in the Suchomimus, and then this is it all together. Oh, that seemed to cut out a little bit. Let's try again. So in that one, you can definitely hear that beluga coming in. That
definitely
scream. Yeah, terrifying. Yeah, I thought when I made that, I've gone a little bit too far. But then I just put it in game and no one said anything about it. So
no, it's so, like, honestly, it sounds so good.
Yeah.
It's actually crazy how all of these sounds are made. It's just like, I love it. I absolutely love it. So what have we got next?
We've got the Carcharodontosaurus. The Carcharodontosaurus, as people call it, because they can't say it. So this was a community favourite, I believe, and it was one of the ones people were asking for quite a long time.
Yes.
So I actually felt quite a lot of pressure on this one because we were. When did we release it? Was it like the first? It was the carnivore pack, wasn't it, or something?
It was, yeah.
Yeah.
No. Was it? No, the carnivore pack has.
That was the one we just did,
released.
wasn't it?
It was.
Yeah, this was the first.
It was the Cretaceous. Pack. There you go. It's because they both begin with C.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go. So yeah, this was Cretaceous back in December.
Yes.
I believe. Yes.
Yeah. And I'd seen on the internet, whenever I looked on Reddit, people were like, "We want the Carcharodontosaurus." So I was like, "Right, it needs to be really, really good."
Yes.
So I made all of the sounds for it, and it was great. And I put everything in game, and it was like, it's missing something. And it has this like real evil look to it.
Yes, it does.
Like prowling through the enclosures. So I thought I want to make it. I want to give it like a laugh, like a sinister evil laugh. And I've made we just got this new sound effects library, and this is the return of the kookaburra, the lovely little kookaburra. So this is the kookaburra, but it's been pitched down.
Oh!
And it's got such a menacing quality.
It sounds so evil.
It does, doesn't it? I wonder if there's a bit more of it.
Like, that sounds like a dinosaur in itself.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're all the way there already. Wow. And then to that kookaburra, added a bit of this. So it's a bit of sort of wet mouthy sound.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is all from that hybrid library again. And then, just to finish it off, this is a bit of a purr.
Yes.
That's like a classic large theropod signifier. Just chuck one of those on, and it sounds like a large theropod. And then all together.
Oh.
You can just hear the evil.
You really can. Like if you heard that behind you, that would be instant wet yourself.
Definitely.
You know, like it would be awful. It would be so scary.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's why in our game the guests are just fixed on the spot, aren't they?
Yeah.
Paralysed by fear.
Oh.
Right,
so
something a bit safer now.
Go
this
on.
is the Ornithomimus.
Very good pronunciation. Very good.
Much.
Yeah, I can't do that one.
Been practicing.
Excellent.
So this is one of the chicken dinosaurs, as some people call them.
Yeah.
It's related to the Gallimimus. So we got a bunch of sounds from Universal for the Gallimimus, and out of those sounds, I made this. Which is a kind of birdie, because it's got that like clickiness at the beginning and the end.
Yeah.
But it's got a bit of a larger it's got a larger quality than a bird because the main call doesn't really sound very birdy. It's not in the same frequency range.
Yeah.
So so it's like it's a bigger bird, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then we added to this one of my other favourite sounds, killer whale.
Oh, that's great.
They don't sound real, do they?
No.
There you go.
No, they don't.
That's the killer whale. And then one of the other greatest sounds in the world, baby emperor penguin. They're so cute.
So good.
Yes, it's Cubase Pro 8.5. Just want to be in the Arctic, don't you?
Yeah, you really do.
Just take one home.
With lots and lots of layers, though.
Yes,
It's very cold
exactly.
up there. Yeah, it's very cold in the Arctic.
No, they're not in the Arctic, are they? They're in the Antarctic. Penguins are in the Antarctic. I always get that one wrong.
There you go, yeah. I knew that as well. I'm glad that I was testing Duncan. You passed. Congratulations. Good stuff.
And then all together. So you can hear it's got elements from all of those things.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just smashed together and morph again.
So good.
So there you are. That's
I
the
like
Arctic
that.
and
Tracebook
Economics.
says Duncan seems to be having so much fun creating these sounds. It must be really, really fun.
This is a fun place to work.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's a fun job within a fun place to work.
Yeah,
so
exactly,
really cool.
exactly. I mean, you've been here a long time, so
Yes.
you must like
Yeah,
something
I must
about
like
it, right?
something about it. It's the company. Yes, we did use dolphins. JC Schreier is Hycleon. Sorry about that pronunciation. Yeah, there's some dolphins in there somewhere. I can't remember what animals we used them on. So this is something on the other end of the size scale now. The Dreadnoughtus, the largest dinosaur in the game, I think. So this one was released again with, for at the same time, the Carcharodontosaurus. And it's a massive, massive sauropod. And it was the first sauropod that I did, because all the ones were handled by other sound designers. So I think to do something that sits alongside the work that they've done.
Yeah.
But I've got a bit of leeway that I can kind of expand the palette a little bit.
Sure.
So the first sound here is a tiger snarl, and this is pitched down loads. Oh, I'm playing the wrong thing. There we go. That's
I don't know what this is.
That's why it's a weird flappy noise. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's quite. It's you can hear that it was once maybe a tiger. Again,
Yeah.
Again, we've got this distortion on. I think I'm pitching that one down as well.
Okay.
So it starts off a bit higher and then it goes lower and lower and it gets slower and slower.
Brilliant. And are you punishing this one? Is
There
are
was
you
no
punishing? No punishing.
No punishment.
No
on this.
punishing for this one.
We can hear what it sounds like with punishment.
Doesn't need punishment.
Doesn't need punishment.
No,
does it?
that one doesn't need to be punished.
So I'm using this V comp. This is like an analog style compressor, which just like compresses stuff, like flattens stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
This is like an analog one, so it makes it sound old school. Apparently, I don't really know. I use this one because it doesn't have very many knobs.
Right.
Like you get some of these plugins where you can ignore this bottom part because we're not using it, but this top part is just really, really simple. It's just input, output, on and off, and then you can just like bang this on if you're an absolute madman. And then we're using. I've got to give a shout out for this. If there are any audio designers in the audience, this is just like gold. It's such a boring thing.
Right. Okay.
All it does is make a stereo sound mono, but it's just a really easy way of doing that.
Right. Okay.
So I just use it constantly because you'll load in a sound and it'll be really wide and you'll put your headphones on and it'll kind of like sounds like it's everywhere.
Right.
And you're like,
right.
I don't want it to sound like it's everywhere. I want it to sound like it's coming from over there.
Yeah.
It's like dead in
sure.
the middle. So you can just use this to just like dial in the stereo width, and it's just really quick and easy.
Right. Okay. That's cool.
So that's a fun thing. So the second more interesting part of this sound is it's a humpback whale.
Brilliant.
So this is
They're
I think
lovely
this
sounds.
is recorded with a hydrophone, so an underwater microphone.
Right, okay.
So then those two things together. There we are.
Nice.
It's got that strange quality to it, but it kind of sounds like a whale.
Yeah.
And I can these creatures are just like so large.
Yeah.
And they have ways of projecting sound vast distances, like whales do. So it kind of makes sense to use sounds from a whale.
Yeah, I think that does make sense.
On that creature.
It's funny that, because when you first played the tiger,
Yeah.
I was sort of like, oh, that actually sounds a bit sinister, because
Yeah.
it's so sort of low and slow, and
Yeah.
but when you put the whale sound like with it as well, it
Yeah.
just sort of, it makes it sound like a more friendly herbivore.
Yeah, it does.
Really strange.
It does. Yeah, you're just using the tiger to give it some body.
Yeah,
give it some
yeah.
depth. Yeah, but
Amazing.
that's all the character.
I reckon we've probably only got time for one more.
One more.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think so.
Okay. Right.
Oh no, this has been so fun.
Let's do the song then, because
Yeah.
the song's got some interesting bits on it.
That
So,
already looks very interesting. Yeah.
So that last sound we used a tiger and we slowed it down loads.
Yeah.
And we used a whale, and with massive creatures. We used the sound of a massive creature for massive creature.
Sure.
So this next one we use the sound of tiny creatures for massive creature.
Okay.
So this is the Dreadnoughtus, and I got this this parakeet, which sounds a bit like this. And I've slowed this down massively. Okay, so that's the beginning and the end.
Yeah.
And then we've got this blue and yellow macaw. Which again, I've slowed down massively.
I was going to say, that does not sound like a macaw.
So this is probably where it was at originally. Do it again. Yeah, so that's the original sound. So
yeah.
And then we are adding that to a goose, really slow goose.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You can hear that's a goose, can't you?
Yeah, you definitely can.
Yeah, I love that. And then
Sounds like a giant goose.
It does.
You know, like a giant goose.
Giant. Imagine having that for Christmas.
I know,
The
right?
oven you'd need.
Oh.
Oh yeah, this is nice. So that's a pelican. A nice fluttery quality.
Nice. Yeah.
And
yeah.
then the final bit. I think this is the main bit of it. Oh no, it's not. So that's just some more low end.
Yeah, yeah.
This is very nice.
Great stuff.
And then when you mix it all together.
Oh,
There
that
you
just
go.
sounds so good.
There we are. And that's the Dreadnoughtus.
I don't know if it's I don't know if it's because I've obviously played the game, I've put the Dreadnoughtus out in my park and I've heard its sound. But like when you're going through them, you're sort of like, that sounds like interesting. Like I can see how that could fit. And then when you play it all, you're just like, I can see it in my head.
Yeah.
I see the Dreadnoughtus doing that.
Yeah.
It's so cool. Oh, Duncan, this has been amazing.
It's been fun.
It's been
I've enjoyed
really,
myself.
really cool. I'm gonna jump to. Let's jump over here. Oh, and take those headphones off.
Yes.
Oh, It's been so good.
Sorry, mean starfish, I'm not doing the T-Rex today.
Oh, no, we can't do T-Rex today. But yeah, I think it's been absolutely fantastic. It's been a pleasure having you on. And I hope that you guys have enjoyed it as well. How are we feeling? Do we have some love for Duncan in the chat for coming on and showing us
thanks, guys.
all of his secrets?
Thanks,
Oh,
Jenna
it was
Badamy
so
too.
good.
Great input there.
Yeah.
Spina Raptor is the best sound ever. Yes, it definitely is.
Great sound, isn't it? Great sound.
Yeah.
Do you have a favourite?
Struthiomimus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's just such a fun dinosaur. It's the first one you release.
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
They've got such an attitude problem as well, you know.
They really do. Like they really do. You can get some really amazing photos of Struthiomimus, by the way. We have put a couple up on our Twitter.
Yeah.
One where it's sort of like looking at the camera, like, and it's just brilliant.
Yeah.
But I digress. So yes, again, Duncan, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you.
It's been absolutely fantastic, and I'm hoping that we'll maybe be able to do something like this again.
Yeah, sure.
That would be really good.
Definitely.
And again, thank you all so much for watching. We are back next Thursday, I believe, for either a Let's Play or Jurassic World Evolution at the races. I will find out and I will let you know. But until then, have a wonderful day. We'll see you soon.
Bye-bye.